Hey there, quirky people! I'm your host Anna, and today we'll be looking at every amazing movie that will arrive in June 2023. May began the summer season with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and it will continue to hit hard with Fast X and The Little Mermaid. But June is 2023's biggest movie month. If you thought that March was competitive with movies like Creed 3, Shazam 2, and John Wick 4 coming out in the same month, then think again, because June has multiple blockbusters headed our way. Before we look at all of them, it would be nice if you guys would click on those like and subscribe buttons. Show your support and you'll be rewarded with great content. Okay, with that out of the way, let's start with the first film of June, Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse. The Spiderverse sequel is one of the most anticipated films of 2023. The likes of Miles Morales and Spider-Gwen are going to return alongside Peter B. Parker. And guess what? Mr. Parker is a daddy now, as he brings in his spider baby, Mayday Parker. And when Miles enters the nexus of all Spider-Men, the whole council of spiders led by Miguel O'Hara will go after him. He and Jessica Drew's Spider-Woman will battle against Miles and Gwen. According to them, Miles is a danger to the multiverse because of the way he handled things in the first film. It will be interesting to see how he convinces Miguel to team up with him against the real villain, that is the Spot.
Grab the money.
So are you like a cow or a Dalmatian?
I am the Hold up. Just a sec, turn off your phone in a movie theater. You don't turn it off when you're fighting me?
Spider-Man 2 Across the Spider-Verse releases on June 2nd. And on the same day we also get the Boogeyman. There has been a resurgence of the horror genre since 2022, as we got some spine-chilling films like The Smile and The Barbarian. Very recently, we also got the gory flick, Evil Dead Rise. Now, The Boogeyman could also join the list of these great horror movies. It stars David Dastmalchian from the Suicide Squad. At some point in our lives, we've all thought that there's a boogeyman in our closet. Well, this film brings those thoughts to reality. Its plot is fairly simple, as a little girl tries to tell her older sister and her psychiatrist that the boogeyman in her closet is real, and it continuously wreaks havoc throughout the film. After the Boogeyman's release on June 2nd, we'd get Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. The Transformers franchise needed a fresh start after the last night, and Bumblebee provided us exactly that. We've got our very first look at Cybertron. And now with Rise of the Beasts, we'll dive even deeper into the mythology of those robotic alien beings.
Stand down! I'm not the one to fear, Prime.
Rise of the Beast takes inspiration from the Beast Wars animated series that ran from 1996 to 2001. It brings the Maximals to life, who have stayed hidden on Earth since ancient times. Now as the threat of Unicron looms over the planet, the Maximals emerge to warn the Autobots about him and his Terracons. And together, the Maximals and Autobots will save Earth from these evil offshoots of Decepticons. Transformers: Rise of the Beasts hits theaters on June 9th. Next up we'll get Strays. This live-action comedy tells us a story of some cute little stray dogs. Just hearing that statement, you must be thinking that Strays is a family movie and your kids would love it. But don't be fooled. This is an adult comedy where the doggies do the nasty. Will Ferrell voices the lead doggy Reggie, who gets abandoned by his old low-life owner, Doug. So he plans to have his sweet little revenge.
I'm gonna bite his dick off.
On his journey, he meets another stray named Bug, who is voiced by Jamie Foxx. After spending some time with Bug and some other strays, Reggie realizes that he was in a toxic relationship with Doug.
He drops me off really far away and drives home without me. When I bring the ball back, he says, "Fuck." That's how I know I won the game.
And he finally starts to value his freedom. Strays also arrives on June 9th, and it will be followed by The Flash. Ezra Miller's final outing as Barry Allen will feature two variants of him. One of them will be from the old DCEU's Earth, while the other will be a younger 18-year-old version of himself. Along with the two Barry Allens, we'll see two Batman as Ben Affleck makes a short appearance. But the biggest takeaway of this film is Michael Keaton's Batman. And finally, Sasha Calle's Supergirl will also feature in this Flashpoint storyline, where Barry goes back in time and prevents his mom from dying. But his actions create an alternate timeline where the world almost comes to an end. So, it will be upon Barry to decide whether he restores everything and lets his mom die, or whether he decides to stay in the new timeline. The Flash releases on June 16th, and on the same day Disney releases Elemental.
Why do they even have these?
Who knows?
Disney's last few animated movies haven't worked out well. Both Strange World and Lightyear turned out to be the biggest flops of 2022. So, the studio has high hopes from Elemental. This animated movie follows the unlikely pair of Ember and Wade, in a city where elements like fire, water, land, and air residents live together. Despite being total opposites, Ember and Wade discover how much they actually have in common with each other. Don't take your kids to watch Strays, but you should definitely make them watch Elemental in theaters. Then return home, tuck them in bed, and put on Netflix's Extraction 2. Chris Hemsworth returns as Tyler Rake and takes on another violent extraction mission. He impressed everyone with the first film of the franchise. It became the biggest Netflix movie when it came out back in April 2020. And now that Tyler Rake lives, we are expecting similar viewership results when it starts streaming on June 16th. In Extraction 2, Rake would break into a high-security prison to save the family of a ruthless Georgian gangster. And we'll probably get to witness the best and longest one-take action sequence ever. After Extraction 2, you've got to get ready for No Hard Feelings. Jennifer Lawrence appears in Sony's R-rated comedy where we'd see her character Maddie date a wealthy couple's 19-year-old introverted son, Percy. She gets paid for helping him get out of his shell before he goes to college. And that's where the fun begins, because things between them never go as planned. Both Percy and Maddie always end up in some sort of trouble.
Get away from her! Stay.
But they also begin to bond and eventually become good friends. No Hard Feelings arrives on June 23rd, and on the same day we get Asteroid City. Here's another star-packed story that features names like Tom Hanks, Scarlett Johansson, Tilda Swinton, Margot Robbie, Bill Murray, and many others. The film tells the story of a fictional American desert town of 1955 that holds a junior space cadet convention. It brings together students and parents from across the country for scholarly competition, and puts them in multiple different situations. So, this dramedy is something that you don't want to miss out on. After Asteroid City, we get Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Hitler made mistakes, and with this, I will correct them all.
You stole it.
Then you stole it.
And then I stole it.
With James Mangold helming the project, Harrison Ford is set to return as the famed archaeologist Indiana Jones. It will be his final outing. But the most interesting aspect of the film is its time travel element, as we'd see a young de-aged Indy taking on an ex-Nazi doctor played by Mads Mikkelsen. Other familiar actors involved in the film are Antonio Banderas, Boyd Holbrook, and Toby Jones. Indiana Jones 5 hits theaters on June 30th. Okay, that's all for now. Click on those like and subscribe buttons, and don't forget to tell us which of these movies you are looking forward to. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next one.